Are we all back? Let's see here. Got some folks still coming in. Hang on one second. Okay, I have one quick announcement. Actually, no, let's do a quick around the room. Anybody who's new, you can take 15, 30 seconds, say who you are, where you're from, drop your, and everyone here, drop your contact information in the chat. We'll go with Kyrillos. Take it away.
Yes, hi everyone, good morning. This is Carlos from Cairo, Egypt. So I'm happy to be with you there. I am a digital platform researcher. I'm just finished my MBA, and I was doing my research in the digital platforms, the Egyptian freelancing digital platforms, you know. And I was invited to such a great meeting. It's first time to attend such nice meeting.
Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Who's next? Raise your hand, or because the screen is quite cluttered today. All right, Larissa, go for it.
Hi, so I'm Larissa. I'm Brazilian, but I live in Chile, and I'm a partner at Austra. We are a platform that connects experts to very big companies to work on demand. Globally, we've been operating since 2018. We are now working with very large clients from Latin America, and we are specializing in talents in Latin America. So we have clients as Visa, Itaú Bank, Unilever, and a bunch of other really cool companies. And happy to be here sharing with you.
Welcome. Ezekiel. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, there. I'm Ezekiel, speaking from Argentina, Buenos Aires. I'm in charge of all the B2B part of Workana. We are the biggest freelancing platform in Latin America. We operate nearly in all countries in Latin America, and we also have a pretty interesting and fast-growing hub on Malaysia, serving Southeast Asia. We've been around with principally our marketplace since 2010. And very, very focused on B2B since around 2017. So yeah, really interesting to getting to know everyone. I had a few chats with Jon. So thank you everyone for being here.
Welcome, welcome. Anybody else?
Hi, Brandon. I don't know where to raise my hand, but I can mute myself. So
go for it, Pablo.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you guys. And I'm Pablo Lopez. I'm the COO of Woki. We are currently based in Madrid, Spain, and we are a platform that connects expert freelancers and experts with companies, especially small and medium enterprises, not only in Spain, but in Latin America as well. And as I said, we're really looking forward to get to know you guys and actually push the conversation about freelancing all together in Latin America and in the Spanish-speaking countries.
Welcome, Luis.
Yeah, hi there, everyone. My name is Luis. I am from Venezuela, but I live in Chile since about 6 years ago. I am the CTO and co-founder of consultalk.com. We're a platform that was born in the beginning of the pandemic as a way to help people that were going into big troubles with their businesses. We created a website where high-end professionals can give personalized record video messages to others. So it hit a lot of people in the good way. And we are right now offering a subscription-based system where high-end professionals can help medium and small and medium-sized companies to improve their businesses. So very, very nice to be here, and thanks a lot for the invitation.
Welcome. Natalia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalia. I'm from Buenos Aires also. I see a few Argentinians here, so happy to join you all. I'm the head of business development in Seeds. We are a company that provides top freelance talent to large companies across LATAM and the USA. So I'm so happy to meet you all. I think it's a great opportunity to share here. So thanks for the invite.
Ramiro.
Well, hello everybody. Thanks for the help on how to raise my hand. I am Ramiro and I am CEO for The Flock. First, let me say how grateful I am for representing our company here in this amazing event. And we are a Latin American company I'm Latin America talent platform helping companies engage with software development teams in a matter of days, and we also helping them to deliver managed outcomes. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, and hope we'll be in touch.
All right, well, welcome. Welcome. All right, I think we're ready to roll. Ashley, I'm gonna pass the mic over to you. I know you've got something to say.
Thank you. This is a shameless plug for next Thursday, March 10th. Jon Windsor and I and some of the experts from Team Magenta who worked together to create the networked organization playbook are going to be talking about that. More specifically, the archetypes that make for good thought leadership and how that manifested with how we co-created the networked organization playbook as part of CTW. So shameless plug, we're gonna have a lot of fun next Thursday. I will put the link to register and more information in the chat. There's a lot of great speaking opportunities and events and sessions that are happening over the next couple of weeks with folks in this community. Cough, cough, John Healy is going to be speaking next week. So there's a lot of great opportunities to connect and to learn a little bit more outside of this call, what some of the leaders in Open Assembly and CTW talk about on a more regular basis. So I highly recommend you attend.
Thanks, Ashley. Yes, I also need to find this link. Hold on one moment. Okay, so we've got, as you know, Jon is part of a course that was just offered by Harvard Online. It's on open innovation. It's a 6-week certification course, and it's taught by Kareem Lakhani. There's it's basically a full certification on open innovation, and we have an opportunity to offer everybody here a discount code to take the course or pass it along to colleagues. I'm going to put this URL in the chat and also this discount code. And it's a self-paced, it's somewhat self-paced course, but there are some deadlines you need to meet too. So for those of you that are looking for this certification or you want to pass along to colleagues, please do share it. And then Barry, I'm going to pass the mic to you to introduce Iman.
Sure, thanks, Brandon. So I think this is such a cool initiative that I want to hand the mic over to Iman in a second just to introduce it. But Iman is a friend of mine who runs White Lance, which is a company that creates talent platforms. Contacted me last week and said that his CTO is Ukrainian, and that they wanted to do something for the people in Ukraine. And we will all, I'm sure, be joined together and say what an incredibly terrible situation is going on right now. It's just unbelievable to see what's happening there. But it's a country full of professionals, and particularly technology professionals, and quite a large number of them right now can't go to work. They probably don't know whether they've got jobs or not, might be hiding out in Poland or in the UK or in the US or wherever, but they've got fantastic skills, and what an amazing use of open talent to be able to create a platform to link Ukrainian technology skills with enterprises around the world. And Iman has created that. It's called remoteukraine.org. But so Iman, could you tell the guys about it, and let's see if we can all promote it and help Ukrainian tech workers to find opportunities.
Thanks very much, Barry, and hello everybody. My name is Iman. I run a White Lance, as Barry said, and we produce white label talent platforms. A bit of context here. Igor, who's on the call with me now, is from Ukraine, And we've been working together for the last couple of years, building out our business. And we went from just slacking each other one morning to him sitting in the bathtub with his wife, waiting for the for the planes to fly overhead, because that's the safest place for them to be. So we are highly motivated to support, and we're still a startup. We don't have any money. There's not a huge amount we can accomplish, but we can provide our expertise and our technology. So we were inspired to set up this platform, remoteukraine.org. And it's very much similar to any other platform out there, Upwork and Freelancer and etc. But it's 100% focused on connecting jobs, remote jobs primarily, but also in-person jobs, with talented Ukrainian workers. As Barry was saying, there's now about 1 million plus Ukrainian refugees, and that number is going to explode. My guess is in the next following weeks. But Ukraine is a very talented demographic, in terms of software in particular. So these are ordinary working people who are ready to work. They're keen to work. They're signing up on these platforms saying, I'm in Poland with my daughter. I need a job. Can you connect me with something? So that's the inspiration behind it. And my request would be, for anybody you're all obviously experts in the talent space. For anyone who's interested in participating, to reach out. I'll drop some details down here for you, contact details. But if you want to reach out with any expertise you have, or with any network promotions, we don't need money. We just need people to post jobs. We'd super appreciate that. I'll just hand over briefly to Igor, if we have 30 seconds left, to give you a bit of update from the ground.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Igor. I'm speaking from Ukraine. So, as you all know, the situation here is very bad, and it's getting worse, and a lot of people are leaving. And once people settle in somewhere safe, they wonder probably they lost their jobs, and they wonder how to feed themselves and their families. So yeah, that's why we think that this project is very important to provide, to connect people with job, the people who have remote jobs. So to help them, just to help them survive. Yeah, I'm sorry for being a bit emotional right now. So yeah.
No, thank you, Igor. Thank you for coming. God, we are. Our hearts go out to you. I mean, it must be terrible. And so anything we can do, guys, this has been set up as a charity, been set up incredibly quickly in a few days. But if we can create demand for these guys, then let's see what we can all do as a community. So thank you, Iman. Thank you, Igor. Most appreciated.
Yes, thank you. Thank you both. And we have you've probably heard us, I say it quite a bit, but we feel like a rising tide floats all boats. So I'm sure there's a lot that we're going to talk about here in the next 30 minutes of what's going on in Latin America that can help folks in Ukraine and beyond. So with that, I'm going to pass things off to our expert in residence, Jon Younger, and let him take it away. And remember, this is open conversation. If you have questions, raise your hand. We'll try our best to call on you and post things in the chat, and let's have a real fruitful conversation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks, Brandon, and thanks everybody else. Some of you are old friends. Some of you are new friends. Some of you are people that I hope will like me at some point and become my friends. But it's really a kind of a pleasure to be part. John Healy and I are going to do this a bit as a frick and frack, though I'll do more frick than frack, if that's okay. What I'd like to do is before anything else, Igor, unmute for 1 second.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just do a fast check before we move this thing forward to LATAM, and that is, who has an idea or a specific way to be helpful to this community, the Ukrainian tech community now? Raise your hand. If you've got an idea or a specific opportunity, or you think you can come up with one in the next couple of days to be helpful to people, raise your hand. And if you don't know how to raise your hand, somebody will teach you. Igor, write this stuff down. Brandon, can you help him with that?
I think I might have an idea. Don't really know how to raise my hand.
Cool. And so are you seeing all the hands up, Igor?
Yes.
So part of what I want you to take away from today is people don't just have good intentions. There are some real people who are able to help in a meaningful and specific way. And that's the most important thing for building optimism, right? What we know about freelancing is that the first two things that freelancers want is from their platform is work and enough work flowing through the platform that they have confidence in its future. We're going to do that right now. So please, if you've got an opportunity for Igor or his community, please write to him. You have his address, and write to him in the next 5 minutes. And because if you don't do it in 5 minutes, you won't do it. The other thing, Igor, is I want you to write to Ben Huffman, ben@contra.com. Contra is a very large platform, primarily tech, that is very dependent on and committed to the Ukrainian technical community. That's where they started. And Ben will help. Ben and I have been talking. He's interested. They've got needs and they've got dough. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, no. And now we'll turn to the rest of the stuff. I want to thank you very much. If we've got it, remember, you can take your hand down. Just get a hold of him in the next little bit. It's so my pleasure to not only introduce some of my friends from LATAM, but I've made new friends just in the last 10 or 15 minutes, which is fantastic. So I want to share some names, and then I want to create a bit of a community rather than just a small panel. So let me start with some names, and then I'm going to ask each person to sort of talk a little bit more if they'd like about their platform. Pablo Lopez, welcome. Don't say anything right now, I'll turn to you, but Pablo Lopez from Woki, welcome. Juan Meja, also from Woki, welcome. I hope I pronounced the names correctly. Ezekiel Applebaum from Argentina, from Workana, thank you for coming. I think that you have the coolest name in the group, and a pretty nice beard, if I may add. Ramiro Forcada from The Flock. We're moving into Argentina, so please excuse me. But I'm so glad to see you, Ramiro Forcada, and I am so glad to see you, Luis from Chile, or now from Chile. Luis and I have been friends for a while, and he's doing some wonderful things, including some fabulous work that he did during the pandemic that perhaps he will tell you about. Natalia Russo, raise your hand. And physically raise your hand. Don't do the yellow hand. And Natalia is wonderful. She is joining us as head of business development from Seeds in Argentina as well. We are seeders. We have Karina Rajavia. Did I say that right? Karina, did I say that right? Who is a co-founder of Olo in Brazil.
That's good enough, Jonathan. Good enough.
And it's wonderful that you have joined us. She wasn't originally on the panel, but she's on the panel now. Larissa Purim. I'm Jewish, so anybody named after a wonderful holiday is my friend. So, Larissa, where are you? Raise your hand.
I'm Brazilian.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
and you're also
Brazilian.
on the panel now.
Yeah, but I'm based in Chile right now. So.
Oh, you're in Chile right now, but we're going to count you as both. Very
Yeah.
good. You can hang with Luis as a dual citizens. Is there anybody I've forgotten? I hope not. And and Eric, I'm sorry, one more thing. Eric, you sort of get a nod here. Eric is one of the senior guys at TopTal, but he's not in TopTal Colombia as a freelancer. He's in TopTal Colombia as their chief economist. So, and a former VC and a very, very nice guy. So I hope if you are in his neighborhood, you will visit. I think you're in Medellin, right?
I am. I always joke that I'm about 83% Paisa at this point, which is what people from Medellin call themselves. But yeah, no, Latin America, if I may just say really quickly, is how I found the world of global freelancing. Just being so inspired by the talent and everything that I discovered during my many years splitting my time here. So yeah, thank you for the shout out, John.
Thank you. And thank you for being an affiliate of our large and growing panel. Could we start? We were going to ask 3 or 4 questions. The first question is, talk about the work that your platform is doing. What's the stuff that's really interesting for your platform these days? How you doing? Second question is, what's the state of freelancing? what's exciting, what's making you nervous? The third question is, how do you see the future? What are the challenges to overcome? And the fourth question, if we have time, is how can Open Assembly and the Center for the Transformation of Work help? So these are the sort of the four core questions. I'm gonna call on people because it's just going to be a lot easier than sort of all hell breaks loose. But if you've got something to say, jump in. Juan Meja, I know you will be one of the guys to jump in, which is excellent. Pablo and, Juan, tell us a little bit about Woki Consulting. What's the stuff that you guys are engaged with in LATAM?
Pablo, go ahead.
Unmute.
I'm already on mute. Thank you, John. And well, it's a pleasure for me to talk to you guys about Woki. And actually, we are a platform that is based here in Madrid, but with heavy interest in Latin America. And since day one, we have been there. So actually, we connect small and medium enterprises, and I think that's the big difference with the other companies and other startups, because we think that small and medium enterprises are alone and are the ones that need more help in order to innovate, to change, and to grow. So actually, we are focusing in that. We have a pretty clear open marketplace when you can search for consultancy services through our experts, freelancer experts, and we can do things like a one-on-one video call to a large project. We are enabled. We're able in that type of work in our platform.
Nice. Juan, would you add anything?
That also, we are working with some partners in Latin America and allies like banks, enterprise organizations, but we are working together with these partners in each countries in Latin America and Florida too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Collaboration is big for us, like multilaterals, banks, associations, chambers, and stuff like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Ezekiel from Workana, welcome. Say a little bit about Workana.
Thank you, John. So I said a little bit in my past intro, but yeah, we are also, we have both sides. So we have a marketplace, a big marketplace that last year, 2021, had over 300,000 projects finished. And then the side I joined June last year was to lead all the enterprise side. It's something we've been developing since 2017, as I said. Both divided in SMBs and enterprise. So we tackled both segments. And yeah, our main focus now and from last year is to be sure we want to move a little bit away from this gig marketplace that where we were created. We want to be sure that we can give freelancers a living out of this. So better money, more predictability, more better conditions. And then on the other side, for big companies, our main thing here is continue to helping to be sure that these strategies for workforce management are one of the options they have on their table. I talked a little bit about this with Barry in our breakout room. So this is the main focus. And of course, in terms of types of things, we are focusing on IT related, but also other stuffs as project management, design, multimedia, and other positions with that in mind.
Thank you so much. One of the things that, thank you so much. One of the things that's happening is more people are joining our panel as we're going through this. So we are now adding Audria and Rocio to the panel as well at the end. I hope you don't mind. We may find that half of the people in the audience are actually members of the panel, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Let's go. Let's keep going. Ramiro Forcada, talk a little bit about the Flock.
Well, hello, everybody again. As I mentioned earlier, we are a Latin America talent platform for software development teams, and we are focusing on helping companies engage with a whole team in a project base. So our main goal is to help companies engage with these teams, and through a new kind of work environment, not only as like a gig place, but also as like giving us the opportunity to help them deliver their product roadmaps. So we are focusing on startups, SMBs, and also helping some enterprises on working in this way. And I think we all know that mainly in the IT industry, hiring people and the talent shortage that we are getting, and this like new distributed and remote opportunities will make us work in a new environment. So we are trying to create that place to let companies and teams engage and execute projects together.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ramiro. Luis from Chile now.
Hi, everyone.
About Consultalk.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi John. Nice talking to you again. Well, thanks a lot first of all for inviting me. Let me tell you a little bit about Consultalk. Consultalk is a platform that was born in the beginning of the pandemic. I was working in the travel tech industry, and as you may imagine, we were one of the industries that was hit the most for the pandemic. So we didn't have any sales. So with my partner, we were thinking, what can we do to help others? Okay, we are no medical doctors, and we created this platform and asking to one of the best members of our network, we asked them, hey, can you provide some advising for others that are people that are in need, that are having problems with their entrepreneurships? They say, of course. So we started doing this for free. All of this was for free. We helped more than 3,000 entrepreneurs here in Chile. So it was very good. So right now we have a service that I think that the term does not exist. It's kind of a affordable advising as a service, something like that. Okay, so basically it's a subscription-based service where you can ask people for advising. These people are mostly high-end professionals, usually high executive that are active or are retired. So these people are retired and just send you video messages that you record just from their phone. They send you the advice and you receive it in your WhatsApp. So that's what we're doing right now. We are offering also a upselling service to have a video call of 1 hour, 30 minutes to go with you in terminated project. But we don't offer kind of the software development or services like this. We offer advising as a service. So it's very nice to be here and kind of be representing this area of freelancing. So thanks a lot for inviting.
Beautiful, beautiful. Natalia Russo from We Are Seeders. Will you talk a little bit about the Seeds group?
Hello, everyone, again. Well, in Seeds, we built a community, a top talent freelance community. That's our value proposition. We have a validated community of freelancers in different fields, and we help these people to connect with large enterprises in LATAM, across LATAM. We are now opening Chile and Mexico this year, and we're also in the USA market. Thanks, John, for that, also for helping us. And we believe that the community is the key to grow. I mean, the world has changed, the work world has changed, and big enterprises are getting a little behind in terms of talent acquisition. So we are helping these large companies to make that takeoff, that jump, you know, to hire freelance and providing them validated freelance talent. We are achieving that goal, so we are really happy.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Can we go next to Karina Rehovia? I think it's not easy.
No, it's nobody can get it. I don't even think I know how to say my last name. So thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here. I've been part of this community for a while now, and it's just always really awesome to meet everybody. And this today especially to talk about Latin America. it's an honor. So I'm the founder and CEO of Olo, and Olo is a talent platform focused on South and Latin America. We started very focused in Brazilian talent in 2020, and we quickly expanded to South America. Now we're going up to Latin America and into the US as well. Our focus is communications, advertising, and design, also marketing. So anything within those verticals we specialize in. We've been around for about 2 years. Today we service about 60 clients, mainly in Brazil, but also in the US as well. So we've been trying to grow our presence in the US and also trying to leverage Brazilian talent in the US. So I think that's one of our goals is, how we can promote more and more Latin America, South American, Brazilian talent in the US market, as there is all of these issues and concerns regarding talent at the moment. And we believe that Latin America is a great place to tap into and to look into for talent once, remote work it's now widely spread. So that's a little bit about us. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Larissa, say a little bit about what you're discovering in your work.
Sure. So at Austra, we segmented our clients as really big companies, and we aim to make the access of independent talent with no bureaucracy and agile and flexible and fast and everything. So we are different from a few marketplaces. We're not the marketplace. We do have our own platform. We do have over 80,000 people registered worldwide, but we are intermediary in every contact that we have. So for these really large companies, what they need is one-stop shop, and they sign a single contract with us, and they can ask us for experts in finance and tech and data and IT and whatever they need. So we are not segmented by verticals. As I mentioned, we do every sort of need that a big company has, but we won't do like entry positions, and we won't do, the first thing we actually discover about our business is that we don't want it to be like a cheap way of acquiring talent or whatever. So we actually working with full-time independent talent. So we want to be able to help these people, including with their personal branding and everything they need. And we are more of a business development to independent talents. And we actually can put them to work with really large companies in challenging projects. So this is what we've been doing.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks. So, Rocio, give me 1 minute before Rocio speaks. Andrea Fieri, you are from Ecuador, and we did not know. Excuse me for not including you in the panel. Will you tell us a little bit about your work?
It's okay, Jonathan. I actually joined CTW from the HBAP community and not from the promoting the business that I have in Ecuador. I am originally from Ecuador, and GeoSport, it's a company that started 7 years ago, and through the in the sports industry with a business partner that it's a soccer trainer, and we identified a lack of unattended interest in sports industry back then, and with technology we also identified the need for education. So we created this portal that's called GeoEduca, where we've been creating courses, education courses related to sports, and meaning this is for coaches that from expert coaches to coaches that can share knowledge on best practices, tactics, techniques so that coaches in schools, high schools, smaller clubs, that they want to improve their techniques to train their students and athletes, small kids, teenagers, not necessarily major league teams. They have access to this education, but our courses are very structured. We don't want to create courses just like Zoom webinars or stuff like that. We put a lot of thought with the instructors to create meaningful education that will actually bring value to whoever are taking these courses. So right now we only have 2 courses launched, but we are working on 7 other courses with 7 other instructors around Latin America. We have instructors from Argentina, from Brazil, from Colombia, from Venezuela in different sports. Even here in the U.S., I am right now in the U.S. From Mexico too, in basketball, soccer, and tennis.
Let me make a suggestion. But send up. Will you put up? You have your address. I think you'll get a lot of people writing to you and asking for more information. That would be great. Would you mind if people wrote to you?
Oh, not at all. I'm love to connect with everyone from Latin America and everyone around the world.
Wonderful. I'm going to turn us to Rocio, and then we're going to break into the conversation about Strengths, Weaknesses, and what's going on. Rocio, please.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't part of the panel because it wasn't
my
my intention to be part of the panel. I was just attending as a listener, not as a speaker, but thank you very much for the invitation to speak. I am from Spain, I live in the US, and we have an open talent platform called Overflow. My 2 partners and we actually are trying to go down instead of a lot of the platforms. I am trying to come into the US. We are trying to extend ourselves into Latin America because my co-founders and myself, we have a love for Latin America. We all work in Latin America as strategists in the past, and we have tons of friends there. And we believe that the philosophy that we are bringing is very likely to succeed in Latin America. We have a focus in talent, as Karina has, in talent dedicated to marketing, advertising, communications, innovation, etc., strategies specifically. And what we promote is the diversity of ways of thinking and perspectives and strategic approaches and ways to solve problems. So what we try to do is not so much to create marketplaces for just individuals, even if that can happen in the platform, and the platform is habilitated for that, but more to create collaborations. So you can harness all these different perspectives of these diverse points of view to solve problems. And we also have a social mission. We are a big corp. So we try to those problems to be problems that once solved could bring a lot of positive impact in the world. So that's basically our structure. And I will be in contact with a lot of you that I think have a lot in common with us.
Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Jon Younger, thank you, Rocio. And Jon Younger, welcome. Here's what we learned. We learned from these introductions much more than some specifics about your individual companies. We learned that there are 3 fundamental themes in and among your companies. One is that this is a growth opportunity in LATAM, that whoever you are and wherever you are, these are bubbly times for your business. The second thing that we learned was the diversity of those businesses. It's not just tech, it's not just marketing, it's not just independent management consulting, it's not just expert networks, it's not just interim management, it's all of those things. And combine that diversity with growth, and that's a pretty exciting combination. There are 2 other things that I've heard people talk about that I would just like to point out, and then I'd like to turn to how OA and CTW can support, etc. The first thing I heard was that this is a collaboration intensive community. People want to get to know each other. As Brandon said, the rising tide that lifts all boats, you're not in competition with each other. You're in competition with alternative staffing orientations. The reality is 1%, all of the freelancing expenses in the world right now represent 1% of total staffing expense. So who's in competition? I mean, if we double freelancing, we've only gotten to 2%, and that ain't bad as a starting point. The fourth thing that I heard, very importantly, is that several of the platforms have a social conscience or have a social agenda in addition to an economic agenda and then the agenda which represents your area of focus. That's very exciting. And I think it's part of the strength of Let's Have. Now, here's the question that I'd ask for each of you. And I think just let's do this as sort of a group. We've got 8 or 9 minutes left. I don't think you need to raise your hands. I think you need to unmute yourself. For the folks in the extended panel, how can OA and CTW help you guys continue your growth trajectory? How can this organization, this global organization, it's the only one of its kind, how can we help each other in this area? What are your thoughts?
I think can you hear me there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you have a lot of experience about all of this industry. So I think that in a way we can learn from you and mix the culture part of Latam and see how we can learn to grow faster. Because one of the things that I can feel in Latam is something related with trust. Okay, people would like to hire freelancers, but the people are afraid that, oh no, for instance, if you hire somebody that is working with your source code, is this source code is going to be spread over the internet? So it would be great if you can share with us what are the tools that we can use to share with the client side how they can trust more and be more confident about hiring somebody else. I think that's something that is across all of us that I loved what you said. We are not competitors right now. We're competing with another area.
Wonderful. Who else?
Hey, John, can I just come back on that just to say we'd love to help. So from the Open Assembly side, where we work with corporates, with enterprises to help them understand how to access freelance talent. You know, we have a methodology and an approach which we're writing about now. John's writing a book with Harvard, which is the sort of blueprint for how enterprises can access on-demand, agile, flexible talent in a safe and secure and risk-managed way. So we have that, and we'd be happy to share the principles of that with you so you can share it with your clients so that they can expand their use of your platform.
That will be wonderful, Barry. Thank you very much.
Cool. Who else can share?
I also think that my expertise in seeds large companies and according what Luis said recently, they have like boundaries about this hybrid system where they can have headcounts and also they can hire freelancers. You know, it's like they think that it's one way or either way. So exactly the same with the remote job that now it's all over the place. I mean, I need, or I think it would be great to have tools to talk this enterprise into the hybrid way of work, that you can have freelancers and you can also hire your headcounts, but you have to optimize your productivity. So there are fields that, I mean, people do not want to work as a headcount, and that capacities, the companies are losing that capacities because nobody wants to join a large company for 15 years and have that bonus. Or, I mean, this world has changed. And also for the women, I'm talking on behalf of my gender, there are a lot of changes that we are facing in terms of career, work-life balance, plan for life, and nothing. That's my small part. I don't know. I want to share with you.
You go, girl. Who else?
From my side, John, so in line with what everybody else is saying, but I think in the end, everything comes down to education and helping us to push these ideas to top of mind of the highest executives. So in terms of workforce planning strategy, compliance, operating models and stuff, how can we be sure that when the company retreat for the C-levels is happening, and they talk and they touch the point of workforce or talent, this is one of the options. So they can hire internally as they have been doing for the past years. They can, I hope not, but they can continue working with the manpowers or adecos of this world, and they probably will have a use case for them. But they also should have our card on the table to use this. And adding a little bit on what Natalia said on diversity and inclusion, particularly in Workana, and I suppose others as well. We do found that both from our side with people with disabilities and with trans, we are working with a few organizations where we are remote work and freelance work are helping a lot on some opportunities for people that before they didn't have. And now it's being a little bit more easy. So it's something that we're trying to push, and that companies are really receiving really well.
Yeah, and just encourage, John, as we go in, Barry just posted the networked organization playbook into the chat for everyone who's asking about, is there a formula? Is there a methodology? That's what this group has been focused on bringing together, and that's out there. And that's what Barry and the OA team are out educating enterprises and businesses to do. And then in the CTW side, what we really want to be able to get to is some consistency in language and standards, so that when each of you as platform organizations or as ways that can bring open talent into these customers approach them, we have a common language that makes them more comfortable, builds some of that trust along the way. So the thing that we would ask of each of you is to stay engaged in this community. We've already had some offline conversations that clearly we have demonstrated that we have an opportunity for a LATAM affinity group to be able to build out in this and to talk about those things that are unique culturally, that are unique locally, that are going to be unique as you start engaging with larger enterprises that have bigger questions as it relates to currency conversion and challenges that are going to be there, and to help enable each of your platforms to be able to attract the best and the brightest in your communities, to make you a required part of that conversation at that executive retreat that you referenced, Ezekiel. So very excited to have you all here and participating as actively as you have today.
Rich has his hand up. Sorry, John.
Before we go to Rich, thank you, Brendan. Rich, before we go to you, I just want to make sure to give Jon Windsor about a minute, because I think it would be useful to hear from our chairman. That sounds weird.
Thanks.
Hear from our chairman.
Yeah. Well, I love this. I love, I'm a bootstrapped entrepreneur. And I've lived on and off in Mexico and have an affinity for LATAM in a big way. I've had a place there for 25 years. So pretty familiar with the culture, and it's just really, really awesome what you guys are doing. I think there's a lot of untapped talent in Latin America, and we need that talent. I think the biggest thing that Barry and I talk about all the time is the clients that we talk to, are starting to adopt this faster and faster. And are we going to have a shortage of supply? And if we have that shortage, we're going to need really talented entrepreneurs to put together platforms and communities that allow global organizations to solve their talent crises. So really appreciative that, John, especially for you to put this together today, and for everybody joining. It's a really exciting conversation. And I agree. I think the LATAM market is really untapped, and there needs to be, a lot more focus there. So back to you, John.
There are a couple of, Pablo, you're going to say something, but before you do, Rich, everybody will hear Rich and know he's from LATAM. You go ahead, Rich.
I wish. So it was just on that point, John. I think you mentioned about the collaboration and that we're not competing with each other, right? And I think the opportunity we have is to be able to collaborate more on the talent that we have, the supply and the demand that we have, right? And sharing more. I think the example I had recently, you hooked me up with the guys, the Indie List guys in Dublin. So they've got some supply issues that we've been able to help them with, and vice versa. We've helped them with some stuff. They get into Deloitte thanks to us, and vice versa. So I think there's just more of those examples, especially with the guys in LATAM. But tapping into the supply issue, we've all got supply issues, but how can we help each other with all the talent we've got to plug some of those gaps? And I think that's an amazing thing that the staffing industry doesn't have that we have.
Beautiful. I'd like to make one last comment. Before I do, Pablo, you were going to say something.
Oh, thanks, John. No, I just want to say that I think this initiative is amazing and in line with what Luis said at first and the rest and everyone else. Like in terms of Latin America, as the way I see it, we are the Latin American market is kind of like a follower to the US market, to the European markets, and right now, in terms of freelancing and companies taking advantage of entrepreneurships, platforms like ours and Freelancer movement, it's like a virgin market. And for example, we find you, John, because we were start exploring where can we search and look for the best ones. And they are in the US, and we find you, John, and we say, okay, this guy knows about freelancing and the things like kind of works, and for us to be able to talk to you guys and to have to take that experience that you have will enable us to actually short the gap, and to actually reach to the point of the US and the European markets way more faster. And this pandemic actually helped us in that matter, because right now, at least here in Spain, that actually is not it's still in Europe, but I think it's not comparison with the UK or Germany or France in the freelancer matter, but you can feel that everything changes. And as another person here right now, I don't see it Natalia, yeah, in Argentina said, the world changed, and Latin America is not away from that.
Let me make one suggestion as a thank you, Pablo. Let me make one suggestion as a closing comment. I have no authority to make this proposal, but I'll make it anyway. I'm an old guy, and people don't mind if I fuck up. Excuse my language. I propose a LATAM Growth Summit sometime this year. I don't know where. I don't know whether virtual or real, but I think that Open Assembly and the Center for the Transformation of Work can help accelerate you guys, and we want to help accelerate you guys, because God knows we need more successes in the world right now. So at the risk of Barry and John saying, forget about being a part-time expert and resident, you're out of residence.
Hey, John,
rather than later.
We're planning a virtual event in September, and we now definitely have a LATAM section.
Excellent.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, thanks, John, and apologies to everybody for being late. John, you always do such a great job of these things. And just in closing, I think, it brings up a really important point. And Barry and I have been working really, really hard to try to get, the language right and make sure that we can create, common understanding. And there's so many great people that are part of this community that have helped. And certainly we need more representation from Latin America to understand what the issues are down there, to understand how we make sure that the processes that in the language that we're creating is really relevant there as well. And so we really need your help and want you to be an important part of the community. Thanks so much for being here today. And thanks to everybody, and apologies again for being a little late, off trying to figure out this book. So we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks, John. And everybody remember remoteukraine.org. Anything you can do would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
great stuff. Awesome.
And Igor, remember talking to Ben Huffman at Contra.com. Adios, amigos.
Thank you, everybody.
Stay safe, Igor.
Thanks, guys.
Reach out if you
So
need
much,
anything.
everyone.
Take care.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
Very
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.